Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people. I hope you're all well. Now you will notice that the audio is playing up, and that is because in typical non-beautiful form, my mic that I connect to this phone, which I'm actually using at film right now because we obviously fly out to Turkey again in the early hours of Monday morning. So I've put everything else up, getting ready to go, and everything starts to go wrong. So I've ordered a replacement microphone, despite this one not being that old, but that's by and by. So do please excuse the audio. But like I say, you're amazing. This video isn't going to be amazing audio-wise, but hopefully it will be in terms of information-wise, as we're talking about Karen Read. Now, I put a community post out yesterday, and some people answered the poll as to whether they thought she was being set up. Some people said that they don't want to do homework, which I fully appreciate. Homework sucks. Homework sucks arse. And some people said a link would have been nice. A link would have been nice. Well, I'm not giving you a link because I'm doing this video. So, Karen Read has a boyfriend who is a copper. And they go out with some friends and end up back at this guy's house who's a friend who's also a copper. He's a copper as well. So I'm going to keep this as simple and as quick as possible. So Karen Read's partner, cop, friend who they end up at the house, cop. And Karen drops boyfriend off and she apparently watches him go into the house. So are you with me so far? He goes into the house. And then later on, his body is found. So Karen comes back to the house and he is found in the road, basically, on a snow embankment, and he's dead. She looks at him because he's got injuries. His eyes are all puffy, his nose is bloody. He's died of blunt force trauma. So, you know, the downside is what Karen does at this stage is she feels that there's a potential that she's hit him. So she says, I could have hit him. So it doesn't look good, does it? Because straight away, you're in a situation where you have said that you could have hit them. And if someone else picks up on that, who perhaps wants to use that against you, then they can do it. So look, initially she is charged with manslaughter. Later on, that is upscaled to murder, by the way. But that's not what's important here. Because what they find is, at the scene, there is a broken piece of tail light. And so all of these little things kind of go towards painting a picture that she hit the guy. Do you know what I mean? She hit him. But that's not quite as simple as that. Because in the area outside the house, what we've got to try and imagine is the speed with which someone would have had to have been travelling in order to cause the injuries that would result in the death of the victim. And it has been noted that for Karen to have been able to go at the speed with which it would have took to provide the injuries to the person to cause the death couldn't have been done. It was snowy, horrendous, and the area, it was a 3-point turn situation. It wasn't like she come flying down the road at a rate of knots. It was a case that she was doing a manoeuvre, and the feeling is she could have hit him while doing that manoeuvre. I do apologise for the camera, by the way. I'm holding it on a little non-gimbal thing. So look, this is where we're at. So what it seems to be is that Karen has made herself appear to be guilty at the point with which this happened. And some people will now fall into the line of, so that is what happened. But, so check this out. So one of the other females who was part of the little circle of friends who went out on the night, she does a search on her phone. How long does it take someone to die out in the snow? So bearing in mind, this is one of the people who was in the house, not Karen, the other side of things. So the prosecution's side, if you like, and searching how long it would take someone to die in the cold. Also, it's been noted that there was calls made between certain people that were removed off of the phones. And the guy whose house they actually went round, who was also a cop, as I've said, so another cop, he is a professional fighter. He's a fighter. He's a trained and powerful fighting man. So what could have happened? Could there have been a fight? Do the injuries that Karen states regarding a bloody nose and puffy eyes go hand in hand with someone being hit during a 3-point turn in a snowy cul-de-sac? Or does it sort of reek of someone getting into an altercation, a fight, and being beaten to death and left out in the road? And what you see now is an attempt to frame someone who, in the aftermath of finding their boyfriend in the position that they were in, trying to consolidate what had happened in their mind, and in doing so they have said some statements that make them look guilty. So for those of you who think she did it, answer the question as to why there would have been people inside that house who claim that he didn't go in the house, who had done searches reference how long it takes people to die in the snow, and why they would be hiding phone calls between one another. Let me know that. But some people said, what has that got to do with the Idaho 4 case? What has it got to do with anything to do with Bryan Kohberger? This is like comparing apples to oranges, and I completely get it. I completely agree. It is like comparing apples to oranges. But what it states, and my point being, is that law enforcement don't always have the best intentions, and they can do things, and they have the ability to do things to cover one another. They have the facility and the ability to not operate in the realms of the law, but to in fact do completely the opposite and be supported by the system with which they work for. So could Bryan Kohberger be being framed by officers with nefarious intent? Are there officers out there who, if they are pressured, if they are incentivized to get a result, could they go out there and manufacture a situation that would see someone charged with a crime that they did not commit? I do feel that that is absolutely high potential that could happen, and this is one of many, many stories that prove that law enforcement can operate in a nefarious way. So for those of you, again, who believe Karen Read is innocent, you'll understand. Those of you who don't will think I'm a dickhead. But do you know what I say? I say I don't care. It is what it is, and the rest is history. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I shall do videos as and when I can. I've just got to wait for this mic to come in, and obviously I will be doing videos while we are away, and I'll try not to fry off my ankles too. Again, you look amazing. This video hasn't been amazing audio-wise, but I hope it gives you a little bit of an insight into Karen Read and what she's facing at the hands of, in my opinion, being framed by Boston PD. Catch you in the next one.